need to say this. Are you recording, Dom? Oh, you are.
What episode is this? 3?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yes, 3.
Yeah, it is. Hello, welcome to In the Side Series 2, Episode 3. I'm Tom Harvin, joined by Scenario Neil, JK, and one of our new panelists, Alex Davies. How are you tonight, Alex?
How you doing, mate? You okay? All good?
Yeah, all good. Neil, you good? JK?
Yeah, good, thanks.
I was about to say, why does Alex get the "you're all right" and we get the?
Because he doesn't care.
Feel welcome.
He's no longer a guest. He doesn't just get the blows. Get fecked.
Right. Obviously, we'll start with the breaking news. Fans coming back into stadiums. What's everyone thinking? Actually, what's everyone's tiers? Where you like? I think you're on a tier 3 now, aren't you?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't looked, to be honest with you.
You're asking me a very technical question there. That ain't going to go well.
No. And where are you thinking anyway? Because I'm not in Hereford anymore.
Yeah, but you're in Gloucester, don't you?
Well, sort of in the middle.
Basically, what he's saying is he doesn't know, he hasn't checked, and he won't ever know.
Current news.
I'll tell you, we're in tier 3 up in West Yorkshire.
I was going to say, the North hasn't really come out of tier 3, has it?
No. Liverpool dropped to tier 2, didn't it?
Yeah, I've got some family there today. I'm quite happy with that result. But yeah, I mean, I'm a tier 2, so it's not bad.
Tier 2 as well.
So
I'm still getting back in the gym, so I'm happy.
Yeah. That's a weird one, that, though, isn't it? Tier 3, but then gyms and all that are all opening.
Yeah.
That's because, they don't want Hask going down with the frigging tank again, do You'll end up frigging getting a live Challenger 2 and just start bashing down doors.
Right, and you know the brand Grenade. I used to work with their head of brand at my old job.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Look how far he's gone, and look where I am now.
He'll catch up one day, Tom. He'll catch up one day.
Oh no! Right, last week's fixtures: Premiership Friday, Harlequins 3, Exeter 33. We're expecting that.
Yeah.
I think Exeter is just going to start off where they left. They're just going to go rampant. And
there's not, to be honest, we only had 2 weeks off, so there's not much of a lull they would have. So I think they'll just
carried on the momentum.
Yeah, and I think with them, they haven't lost that many to the England camp. There's literally, which was a massive shock, but they've lost. Their main team is still there. Where you've got all the other teams have lost players to England, they haven't. So they're just going to run rampant for the first 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, I reckon they will as well.
Do you think that's a foregone conclusion, Alex? Do you think they're literally just in this season? And do you think there is any good dark horses out there, or do you think?
No, I don't reckon it's a foregone conclusion, but you're going to have to perform pretty well.
Yeah,
I think you need a pack to match them.
Yeah,
they're just so relentless.
On the way they're going, Wasp will match them this year because I think that they only fell in the finals due to this whole COVID malarkey going on.
Yeah.
Bad prep. I think Wasps will probably be up there. Bath when they actually start getting somewhere. Bristol.
Yeah, I think Bath's probably one of the packs that would match them. You know, the strength and depth there with like Ben Urbano, Will Stewart, Tom Dunn.
Yeah.
And then the back row with Underhill, Terry Falatau, you got Zach Mercer, pretty, and then Charlie Oles in the second row, Elliot Stuke. That's a pretty big pack and agile and mobile, and there's people like Matt Williams, Tom Ellis is not mentioned, but Lewis Boyce, Henry Thomas, there's loads. I think Bath did. I actually thought Bath would beat them at Sandy Park. I thought they'd actually turned the corner post lockdown, and I thought they were really going to do it. Maybe that was just me.
No, we all believed. Alex. Unbelievable. Put money on that one. On that one.
What was the next one?
Sale at Northampton.
Yeah.
Sale 32, Northampton 23. Northampton sort of lost it after coming back from the lockdown period, didn't they? Just didn't seem to get firing again.
Yeah.
So did Sale, to be fair.
They had a great start before, and then before lockdown, they were on fire. All the young guns like Dingwall, Grayson, they were really going for it, and I was really excited by it. But then I just don't know what happened. But obviously, post lockdown, they went the other way, because if you look at Worcester, that went the other way for them because they were pretty poor before lockdown. But then
I think Sale were unlucky at the end of the season as well. Obviously, again, COVID situations. I think they, post-COVID, they really came into their own. They started really showing some grit and really showing what their backline could really do. So I thought it was a closer game than I expected. I thought Sale would absolutely dig them because they actually have got a pretty good defence. But
yeah, I like Sale. I think they're quite niggly. I really do enjoy it. I do. You know, if you're going up there, or even if they come to you, it's just going to be a battle. I quite like them. I quite like Sale.
Oh, it's decent.
Yeah, bit of a sore point. Bar 12, Newcastle at 19. Obviously.
That was the biggest shock. Shock.
I know.
Fresh back into the Premiership, and they go and give half the dicking.
Yeah,
I'll let you and Dom and Alex actually talk about that one while I sit and laugh.
I was pretty shocked as well. As I'm sure most people were, but I think there's a lot of. I think they did miss the England boys there.
Yeah,
I'd say I think Dunny has such a big impact. He's just so industrious and relentless. I think he has a big impact when he's not there. Obviously, Benno, Will Stewart, that's a starting front row for England, as well as Bath. So
yeah,
but even still, I still thought they've definitely got enough power there to
definitely. And to be fair, watching it, I did think we were going to pull it through towards the end.
Yeah,
I always never felt we were out of the game, but fair dues to Newcastle. Obviously, had a bit more hungry on the day.
Yeah.
Now, this is a bit of a weird one. Leicester, obviously, not a fantastic season. Gloucester seemingly on the up towards the end of last season. Yeah, beating Gloucester 38 points to 15-0. I take you didn't watch the game because you don't subscribe to mainstream media.
No. I'd stay off the grid. No, to be honest, I was shocked by the result. I expected us to win that. But once again, we're missing a couple of players for England, playing for England on the weekend as well. So, I mean, I'm absolutely loving where Gloucester are. For the first time in my life, I mean, I've always been a Gloucester fan, but first time in my life, I'm excited about what could happen next season. Not necessarily this season, but the season after. Because I don't think there's many backlines that can match ours at the moment in the Premiership.
No.
The forwards might be an issue. Not an issue. We've got some really strong forwards. We've got friend of the show, Lewis Ludlow, who's now Gloucester club captain, which is fantastic. And say to him, he deserves that. But I just think we need something to. The backs seem really dangerous, especially with Sips in 10 doing what he does. And we've got Louis Rees-Zammit, absolutely rapid. Obviously, we've got Johnny May as well now. It's just. I think if we can have some absolute grunt in the forwards to match that, I think, and I've said this, not jokingly, I believe that in the next couple of seasons, Gloucester will be top 3, if not even challenging for it. And I'll stand by that. Like I've seen a lot of their games in the last season, and to see the new young setup they've got there with Skivington, the management and who he's brought in as well. I'm excited to see how far they can go. But yeah, obviously not a great result on the weekend. But I don't know about you boys, but I don't think there's many backlines, with this.
No, I'd agree, but I also worry when Cipriani isn't playing. Not because the other guy can't step up, but he clearly runs the attack and the backs there. And when he got injured, I think last year for like 8 weeks, was it? He got injured.
Yeah.
Then they lost the majority of games he was out. So he's a really crucial part. So I think when he's, humming, which, a lot of times he is, he's a fantastic player.
Yeah.
And if he stays fit and plays, then I think they'll have a great chance here.
How many more years do we think Sips has got at the top of his game? How old is he now? 33, 34?
No, he's younger than me, I think, or maybe a couple of years younger than me.
I think he's younger than that, but he's at his peak now. I think ultimately, I think I met Eddie Jones at England, and I've probably mentioned this countless times at Gloucester. Sorry, watching Gloucester play, and I cheekily said to him, "So who are you here to watch?" And he said, "Anyone that plays well." And I said, "Even Sips," and he smiled at me and said, even you, big boy. He said, I'm here to watch anyone that plays well. And literally, I don't know what it is. What do you think is keeping him at the England side? What in your opinion?
Probably the same as Marcus and like the likes of Freddie Burns. Really, really good X Factor individual players.
Yeah.
That's not to say they're not good team players, but they've got that X Factor individually. And just going off who Eddie picks at 10, he likes, I'm assuming that, I'm assuming he likes someone that he knows what he's going to get from them. So doesn't matter. He doesn't care for the flashy stuff. It looks like, you look at Farrell and Ford. You know what you're going to get every week. Farrell's going to make every tackle. He's going to be in your face. He's combative. He gets the attack going. Great kicking game. Good high percentage goal kicking. And Ford is very similar. Obviously not as physical, but knows the game, knows how to play it. Great basics.
Yeah.
And I just think I just think they're not his style of 10s. And that's why I was a little bit surprised Joe Simmons didn't get in, because I feel he's in a similar category to Farrell and Ford. Because you know what you're going to get. Good kicking percentage, good kicking game. He'll attack the line, good defence. So I think he's probably more higher up the pecking order. As well as Jacob Umunga, man of Napola as well. They're all floating around.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them two, and Marcus Smith. A few years' time, there's going to be a hell of a battle for the.
Even James Grayson as well. There's quite a lot of boys knocking about.
Definitely. Worcester 11, London Irish 10.
I think that's a fair result.
Yeah, I wasn't. That
was
could have gone
either way. I thought it was going to be close. Could have gone either way.
Can't say I watched it.
The team going to blow out the season this year. So I think, my personal opinion, the way that they've set up and the way that they've started the season, I think it's those two that are going to be fighting for it at the end of the year. Honestly. I don't think they haven't got.
I just don't see the strength and depth there. You see, for those two squads.
One injury at a key place, and they're knackered. They're literally going to get cricket scores put on them.
Well, Sean O'Brien was out for a little bit, wasn't he? He coaches down at Rosslyn Park with me. He did the breakdown there, so and he was out for a long time with a hamstring injury. But I think he's just coming back to fitness. I think he might play the weekend. I'm not sure. So I think he'll have a massive impact. But I think they need probably a bit more depth and senior players to pull them through, I reckon, under Irish.
Yeah,
definitely. And then finally, for Premiership action, Wasps 23, Bristol 20.
That was a great game to watch. Sorry.
Good result.
Back and forth, try after try. Harry Randall, even though I'm a Wasps fan, what an absolute diamond of a player. He is. His rugby brain is so fine-tuned, and the strength he's got for such a little guy. That try wasn't an easy. Nonetheless, I think he bumped off our hooker.
He was at Hartbury when I was playing for Leeds, I think, at the time, and he was just like same with Velicott. Velicott was on loan somewhere when I was playing for Leeds, and he would just quick tap anywhere. And I spoke to Randall after the game, and I was like, "Look, mate, don't ever change that. Just keep the tempo high, because he is so fast, so fast. Keep working your basics. You obviously, for a 9, you need passing, kicking game. But he has just got that X factor of speed. He's awesome. I like him.
I think the Willis Bassett try was an absolute.
I saw that. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Jack Willis, again, he getting bumped off for the Ireland game and then goes and puts an absolute performance.
I know. He gets man of the match every time he plays for Wasps.
He does, and you can see why though. He has got an engine, and I thought when Tom Curry was up and coming, I thought this guy is something special. There's not many that can absolutely match him. And then out comes Jack Willis, and you're like, well, and then obviously we'll go on to the England game, but he is one that is going to absolutely run rampant at World Cups.
He has got such a long reach over, as opposed to like Underhill and Curry, who are very different and probably a bit shorter and nuggety but stronger. He can go over people and still stay in. It's it's really. He got more turnovers than some teams last year. Something like that.
He did, he did 40. Was it 46 turnovers or was it 49 turnovers? And the closest to him was 14 or something stupid. It was and you just start going, that's world class. It's absolutely world class, and there's no going about.
I had 2 in my career.
But it's like you see a breakdown, you see his face. He's at every single one, and then it's just. I'll massively fanboy the guy. I'll high five him.
Can't tell.
He's good.
and if he wins us titles, fair play.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the coaching staff at Wasps? Because they're very you wouldn't. They're quite not unheard of, but a lot of them have come through the championship. A lot of coaches there.
Exactly. And when I read the sheet, and I was like, who are these guys? Who are they? But obviously, you can't really go who are these guys because there's people out there that have been have to start somewhere, but they've done well. And if you look at Wasps training, if you look at Wasps training before this game that they had 2 days. They had 2 days of training before the game, which puts the win even better because you're not. Yeah. And I think he even said it after the game. He went, "I wanted us to be at 90%. We weren't going to be at 100 because we had 2 days of training. We weren't even at 90. So for them to have 2 days training, so whatever they're doing in there, if they can get them to 100%, Jesus Christ! And I think it's Wasps versus Exeter is going to be an interesting game. I think they're doing wonders, and I think that the board at Wasps taking a punt on these relatively unknowns.
Yeah.
It's a big gamble, but obviously Dai Young had a very good innings and he did absolute wonders. And I think they needed to try something different and someone new and not have someone who's well known in the game.
It's funny, isn't it? Because people would say, they're relatively unknown, but they've been around. They've been around for a long time. I think Costello was out in Munster, and I played against Lee Blackett and played against his teams, as well as Costello, who brought the forwards. I think the forward coach is going across, or the scrum coach is going across from Nottingham with him. And they've done an awesome job, such an awesome job. I think there would be no egos. There wouldn't be any egos allowed there because they're just so grounded coming through National League, the Championship. And I think that's probably what it looks like from the outside. That's having a really big impact.
It's definitely a mindset change. Yeah, you're right. It's definitely giving them a mindset change to go, look, we're from the Championship. We don't give a shit who you are and who you think you are. Because if you give us any more shit, we'll bump you down at the fucking Championship.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the take they're probably going in with it, going, we've been down there and you will be down there if you so wish. So give us shit and let's go. And it's speaking volumes.
They're doing really well. They are doing really well. Really exciting to watch. I noticed definitely after lockdown, the offloading game just came into it. Which they didn't have before lockdown, so it's clearly something that they've tried to. But Lee Blackett did that when he was at Rotherham. They had such a offloading game at Rotherham, so it must be a little style of his, which is pretty cool to see and exciting as well.
I like to see Gopworth just helping the younger boys around the pitch. It's so nice. They highlighted it a few times on the TV where he's just, he's just tapping on the back, telling them what to do, got a word in their ear. I just got so much respect for that. I think it's such a great trait.
It's good to see, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's what you need from your season, guys. It's like we're not in the English anymore. We've been there, we've done that. You guys are coming through, and he knows his number is coming up, but he obviously wants his team to carry on doing well, and that's the only way he's going to do it is if he's dictated it. At least then, if he comes off once he's finished and hung up his boots, he can just go, "Done my bit, crack on."
Yeah,
definitely. Autumn Nations Cup.
Yeah.
Yes.
England Ireland. Well, we held a Dodgers bar during England Ireland, and I have to say, the flatness of the game sort of mirrored within the bar. To be honest, we weren't exactly jumping off our seats.
That was your Paul Banter, Dom.
Neil, you didn't even make it on there, pal. So you can shut right up. So yeah, I mean, do we? Ireland don't really sort of feel like they turned up. Didn't really seem to get out of second gear.
Yeah, I just don't think anyone let them.
I was going to say, we didn't let them. We were in their faces so much they couldn't.
Yeah.
We couldn't get it. As soon as 10 had the ball, we were there.
Yeah. I think they looked like they did struggle, Ireland. I was really impressed with Gibson Park the previous game, but I think he was a little bit hassled by England, which negated their attack a little bit. To be honest, it wasn't the most exciting game to watch. I didn't know. But I was obviously really happy we won. England definitely did what they needed to do to win. A lot of kicking. I think Eddie mentioned something about the kicking in his interview about how much possession Ireland like to have. So he tried to just take that off them or give it them and then pin them in and stuff like that. So it definitely worked wherever the game plan was.
And
I think we could have nailed. I think we could have nailed them. And who knew Burns was an Irish name? Interesting one when he came on. But we know that little chip over is always a game plan for Ireland. And I think why we didn't see it coming is beyond me. It's happening every single game.
Listen, I think it's a game plan of the Burns, to be fair. You know, you see Fred Burns doing that, don't he? He used to love that.
Yeah.
Freddie loved the garden.
He loved it.
Wales, Georgia, 18-0 Wales. Wales obviously coming off a bit of a tough patch.
I think just to get a win is great for them because I feel for Wayne Pivot because I actually quite like him and I really enjoyed the style he brought to Scarlett and was hoping that he's given enough time for it to come through. With
so he's got big shoes to fill, hasn't he? After Gats.
Yeah, no, definitely, 100%.
You know, but yeah, 100%. Good to see them back to Wales. Do you think they're going to up the ante for England? They always seem to got a bit extra in the tank for.
I think they will, yeah, 100%.
They always up the ante for England. They will 100%. Absolutely fight. There are them.
I don't think.
I always hate facing Wales in like a big tournament or anything like that because we can smash New Zealand, but we'll come up against Wales the next week or the week before and get absolutely turned inside out just because they not necessarily hate us so much, but the rivalry in England and Wales will never go away.
In this nation, I don't think they're going to though. I don't think they've got it in them at the moment. I think they're still going through their transition period and they're kind of getting to know where they're at in the standings and. An 18-0 against Georgia wasn't exactly blowing anything apart. Obviously, Georgia, they got a monstrous pack. And yes, Wales, they can match them for that. But the fact that they could only put 18 points on them is, I think it's a big, big telling sign of where they're actually at.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And then I'm just going to chuck this in there. Did anyone watch the... what game was it on Saturday? The Argentina-Australia game. Obviously, Argentina coming off that big upset. There were some massive hits going in that game.
I loved it. So I recorded that and watched the England-Ireland game when I was so deflated from the England-Ireland game. But that was just fast-paced. I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
it's a really good game.
There's one game I enjoyed. Sorry. One game I actually enjoyed watching was the England-France game, the women's, before the England game. Absolutely to the death.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was last try, wins. It was literally England with the last try at the end of the game. And
oh, wow.
It was, for number one, and it was literally, I think, in the back of their minds, because obviously England are number one in the world, New Zealand would overtake them if they lost. They made, I think one of the things that they did, I think after 60 minutes, they did full 8 changes, all 8 changes at the same.
I think I saw that on social media, someone put it up or something.
It's like that's a big risk because France were all over them because France's number 9 is a right little pain in the backside when she gets going. She really is good. But it was a great game to watch and getting that final try. Ellie Culldun, she's obviously a northerner up this way. She absolutely running rampant, absolutely stunning try. But no, last right in the corner. Absolutely enjoyed watching that game. I think England ladies are really showing their worth.
Yeah, they've got a good squad. To be fair, a lot of professional girls as well, which I think helps.
I think one thing that they've got going good for them is a lot of their backs and even the back rows kind of swap and change between the sevens as well. So they have gone and done running sevens game, which I don't think, if you think about it, could help some of the England lads. Obviously, going that kind of offload in the tackle kind of game and keeping the ball live kind of side of things. I think that would work quite well, and I think that's what England have done really, really well. Is most of their back line have played in some way, shape, or form in England sevens, and it definitely shows that they keep the ball alive a lot better than the men's do. The rucks and balls are reduced, and they kick it less.
Yeah, they do.
And it's absolutely amazing. It's amazing running rugby to watch.
Just touch on the sevens. Obviously, I don't want to make this completely Bath-centric. Obviously, Bath signing or announcing Alex Gray. Obviously, London Irish, England Sevens, Atlanta Falcons in the NFL, and then back to the Premiership. What's your thoughts on that? Where's he going to play, first of all? What do you think?
I don't know. I think he could be one of these hybrid players playing in the backs and the forwards. I don't know. But we were at Leeds together when he actually left to go to Atlanta, and it was such a shock. He kept it under wraps because I think he'd been down to London to run a few trials with the coach when they came over. And it was such a shock when it happened. But he was a really dedicated professional when he was at Leeds. Like he took his prehab preparation like really seriously. So it's good. It's exciting actually. I didn't see the signing coming. I knew back we're a little bit light in the back three just because like with Joe, Rory, Anthony, moving off to England and back and forward. I knew they were a little bit light. So I did think they would sign someone, but I didn't see that coming. But it's exciting, I think.
Yeah, they probably slot straight into back row. To be fair, I think that's what our Irish need is they need a strong 8 pick up from that base and strong.
Irish? What are you on about?
JK, it's me that gets the rugby knowledge wrong, not you, right? You roll right on this. That's my job.
Jesus Christ. Right, we're glossing over that. Sunday, Scotland 15, France 22. Well, I didn't watch the game, if I'm completely honest.
I watched it. I thought it was actually a good game.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good game.
Do they still look like that emerging young team? Because I know they're backs in the Six Nations, obviously, before it will break up. They just look something else.
Yeah, they are. I think the Toulouse trait is definitely run through the French team. They are really good. With Dupont at 9, it's just...
Yeah.
I love him. I think he's awesome.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
They just need to stop the inconsistencies to France. They just need to be a bit more consistent with their game.
But I think they are changing. I do believe Sean Edwards has bumped them up a little bit. I do believe that.
Yeah, the consistency can get better. But I think if they have one bad game, there's going to be 2 or 3 bad games in a row that they're going to end up having. So they kind of it's when they lose.
Definitely got the ability to do that.
Yeah, it's when they lose is the issue for them.
Definitely. Right, looking forward to the weekend. Friday night, Newcastle Sale.
I'm going to go with Newcastle on that one.
Are you?
Yeah. Newcastle on a Friday night is not a good place to go.
No. Yeah. That's going to be cold, isn't it?
It will be, but I think
Battle of the North.
Sale will be prepared for it. Yeah, Battle of the North.
Yeah.
It'd be an interesting one,
Alex.
Hey.
What's your guesser on the score?
Oh, the exact score. Bloody hell.
No, well, everyone's got to have
within a number of points. like how you usually would
points
do it.
Different, but like
I reckon it'll be 26-18 to Sale.
Oof.
I reckon they'll just tip it.
Sale-wise, I would probably gone. I was going to go like within points difference, so I'd say probably Sale by 10. I reckon.
Newcastle within 7.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle have something up their sleeve, though. I reckon they'll definitely have something up their sleeve. I think he's a savvy operator, Dean Richards. So I think they'll definitely have something waiting for Sale.
Yeah.
I just think Newcastle are going to come off that a big momentum drive off of what happened last weekend and just keep that going. And they're just. I think it's going to be a close game. It's not going to be massive scoring in the teens. In the teens.
Definitely.
And Dom, hang on. What was your score, Dom? What was your guess?
I said Newcastle by 3. That close.
3.
2. Love that.
Right.
Saturday, Northampton Harlequins. Let's be nice. We've got Gustard hopefully coming on the show soon, so don't upset him.
That's gonna be it's tough ones.
I think Quinn.
These are tough.
I think Quinn's certainly, the last, a few games have looked stronger. I would say not be by much though. I say Quinn's by 5.
Yeah, I think it could be a tight one for me. I think they're both flirting with inconsistency. So, is that Northampton?
Yep, and Northampton.
Well, that's picture I'm choosing.
Yeah, I reckon between Northampton by 3 or 5. I reckon.
Yeah, I think
close one.
I'm saying Saints by 3.
The potential 2,000 of Franklin's Gardens will be rocking them. So I think Quinn's will win by 7.
Nice.
On Dom.
Bristol, Worcester.
Bristol.
Bristol by 15. This is a good one. Gloucester Wasps.
Ooh. Well, I'd say Gloucester, obviously. Got to back the boys.
Wasps by 15.
Yeah, I think Wasps are on such a high. I think they'll be by 10. I think Wasps will win.
Right. Yeah.
And I say Wasps by 7. Exeter, Bath.
Exeter. With them.
I'm gonna say Bath, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Bath.
I don't know. If we turn it on, I think Bath, but I don't know.
I think Exeter's team will be a bit too strong because of the England players that are away from Bath. So
Exeter are going to do it.
I'm going to go Exeter by like 10 on this one.
Yeah, I'd say 10. Well, I can't go St. by 12.
I'm going to go Bath by 5.
Bath by 5.
Nice.
And then London Irish Leicester.
Leicester.
Yeah, on form from last week. I reckon they're banked on, beat them by 10 again. It's not going to be massive score difference, I don't think, but
I think Richard Wigglesworth will make such a big difference for Leicester.
Yeah,
I really like him. He's still at 30? I think he's 37. I don't want to know.
I think he's 38, isn't
he? He's just such a smart player. Keeps himself in really good condition, fit. I reckon he'll get them ticking.
Yeah.
I think they'll Leicester by 10, 12.
Leicester by 10, 12.
Yeah.
Leicester by 15. They're just... I think, as I said, it's going to be Irish Worcester fighting for that bottom spot. So I don't think there's going to be many times that Irish are going to be in that forefront. So, Leicester are going to just put a few on them.
Leicester by 7. All Nations Cup, then Wales, England at the Millennium Stadium, 4 p.m. on a Saturday.
Is that, what's the name? Is that Parky Scarlets, isn't it? So it's
it is, yeah.
Really open and.
Which is England.
I don't think it'll be an exciting game. I think England will have enough. I think England are a rolling machine at the moment, so I think they'll win.
What I'm most excited about this game is that pack. If you look at the back three and what they've got Simmons, Vunipola, Curry to start, and then if you think about swapping Willis on for Vunipola and sticking Simmons at 8. That's that last 40 minutes. That's that last 40 minutes, 20 minutes. It's just going to be an absolute killer. And I think it's that pack and it's that kind of versatility in that running game that they're going to get from that. Wales aren't going to even get out the blocks. As soon as that ball's picked up at 9, you've got those 3 coming after you. You're going nowhere. So I think it's going to be a big. I think we're on a good form. So I'm going to say England by 15.
I'd say England by 15, 20 or so.
We just got too much at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, Neil, just check on your knowledge. Scotland, Fiji. Score predictions on that?
That's
going to be called off again, isn't it?
Oh, he has read the news.
I'm going to say 28-0 Scotland.
Bonus point for you. Bang on score. France, Italy. France by 12 for me.
Yeah,
by 20.
By 20?
By 20, yeah. I think they'll put 20 on easily.
I'm going to say 30 on them. They're just going to absolutely destroy them.
30, blimey. Okay, and then let's wrap it up on Sunday, Ireland, Georgia.
Yeah. Ireland obviously going to win.
I think it's close.
I don't think they've got the pack to front them though, so that's going to be an interesting one.
Thing is with Georgia though, they're blowing after, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm any fitter than any of them. They're noticeably hands on their knees after a heavy 50 minutes. They haven't really got the bench to come on like Ireland would. So I think this whole massive hype about Georgia's pack is, I mean, I don't think it's that truthful. I think, they've got some big units. And I think, they've got a good scrum, but, they just drop off.
They just don't want to, at the end of the day, once you've taken 4 or 5 massive hits, whether they've changed their pack or not, you don't want to run back into them. And you're always going to second guess straight afterwards. That's what they do. They may be blowing, but you look at them and you just go, "Oh shit, I've got to run back into him." Fuck that.
Bit of a myth that one for me, if I'm honest. But we'll agree to disagree.
No bloke's too big for Donington.
True story. I think Ireland by like 20, 23.
Yeah. Easily. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, apart from that, that's all the fixtures rounded up. Anyone watch the Dan Leo documentary got released last week? Was it?
Yeah.
I watched the preview, but I'm going to watch it, yeah.
No.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it. It's insane. Like, the head
He's doing some really good stuff there, mate, Dan Leo. He's doing such good stuff.
Well, yeah, I've been trying to get him on because we had Mapasua on last season, and he was talking about all this, but I didn't realise how sort of corrupt and serious it was. Like that, head of the country is the head of the rugby union as well.
Yeah, he just takes all the money. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just insane. And they were talking about, I don't want to ruin it for anyone who's not seen it, but 14, 15-year-old kids signing for Japan. In effect, signing to say they won't play for Samoa, Tonga, and that they'll go over to New Zealand. They take the best 40 players at the end of each season. So it's insane.
That's awful.
Yes. We will.
Do you know Dan? Dom, have you?
No, I'm not spoken to Dan. I've been trying to get in contact with him, but I imagine he's a busy man at the moment.
Yeah, I can drop a message if you want. I know him pretty well. If you want, I can.
No, we
don't want him on anymore. He's ignored Don that much. We don't want him.
That'd be great. Neil, I believe you've got some scenarios.
I have. I wanted to touch on a couple of other things first.
Fucking hell! He's got his own content.
Touched on it briefly earlier. But returns of fans to stadiums. Obviously, we only just briefly touched on it at the very start. What are your thoughts on it, Alex? Do you think 4,000 is enough? I mean, it's certainly enough for Bath and a few of the other clubs mentioned. But in all seriousness, do you think the government have gone far enough with that? Do you think that's a good step, or?
I think it's a great step, and I think they're obviously going to tread cautiously. They're going to have to and see what happens off the back of it. But for clubs, I think it's massive. Like, just the revenue it will bring behind them. If I'm not sure if they can drink, but if they're down the bar or whatever, it's going to bring so much more revenue. Is it the same for the championship? I think it's the same, isn't it? They're allowed a certain amount of fans.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but I think it'll be massive, and it's a great step. I think with football, it's the same. They're allowing a couple of thousand in at the weekend. I know down at Brighton they are. Yeah. And hopefully, like January time, below championship, I think they're potentially allowing like 600 fans come into like amateur rugby, which will be again massive for revenue for clubs to keep them afloat really and alive. So I think it's awesome, and I'd definitely, if I could, go and watch. 100%.
You must be able to swing a couple of freebies at Bath, surely.
Yeah, I'm not in Bath at the moment. I'm living down in Sussex at the moment. So we've just bought a house. Well, I'm living in Sussex with my wife's parents, but we've just bought a house in Tunbridge Wells, which is tier 3. So I think we're gonna leave it for a little bit.
So stay out for a few months.
Yeah.
No. And another thing I wanted to touch on, we obviously, you're a friend of the show. You were on before. You've got your own kicking company. where you obviously coaching kick and things like that. We had a giveaway where one of our subscribers obviously was to have a lesson with yourself, and he absolutely loved it by all accounts. And tell us a little bit about that, mate. How's that going? Is it is that I'm
it's going
on it, but
so it was restricted obviously by COVID and what I could do, and but it's actually really busy, which is great. I love it. It's like clients are pretty big, and I think it helped a lot of the Bath boys. I didn't really approach the Bath lads to, I didn't ask them, or can you come and do a bit of coaching to sell my sort of thing. I think Reece Prieston just messaged me about, oh hey mate, I've got a bit of a calf niggle, I'm sort of off feet conditioning at Bath, like can we book 8 sessions in? I want to work on this and this.
Awesome.
Which was amazing. And then off the back of that, like I did a fair bit with like Tom de Glanville, Orlando Bailey when I was up at Bath anyway, privately, just off my own back, and then bit with Will Chudley, do a lot of the nines, Charlie Ewells. Like it's really busy, and off the back of that, and obviously posting it, then it just picks up followers and business. So it's been awesome, because it's a bit of a transition from full-time rugby to now coaching full-time in a school, in like a private school, Hurstpierpoint Point College. My hours are flexible there, so it does still allow me to coach clients and stuff. I had one this morning, I got 2 tomorrow morning, so it's it's good. It's just it's unusual. I don't feel too comfortable speaking to the camera and promoting myself. I'd rather just put a video up, but I've spoke to quite a few people who've got all these big followings, and I've asked them for ideas and tips and advice, and they've pretty much all come back with, you just got to post more videos, speak to people so people can relate. And so I'm just sort of doing that at the moment. So I've posted a few videos which are a little bit suspect and stuff.
Well, obviously it helps that you've joined the massive global brand of
obviously.
So it's just going to rocket from there.
Did you say Charlie Ewells was doing kicking?
No, skills. I don't just do kicking, it's skills as well. No. So I actually had Charlie, Ross Batty, Tom Ellis and Elliot Stute come down, and we it was really good. We had a good skills session, work on some 3 and 2s, just little bits like that, really more specific for their position, which I really like that, doing that sort of stuff, like especially when boys come with a plan. So Reece obviously came with a definite plan, and he then ended up getting golden boot. Not that I had much to do with it, but
what was your bonus on that?
No. He's actually a really good man, and I didn't get a bonus. He gave me a shout out, I think. That's about it. That's all I needed.
Which forward when you were at Bath had the best boot?
Terry Falatau.
Really?
Wow.
He could play 10, 12, 13.
Wow.
Oh, a bit like me then, really.
Laugh.
His skill set is it just looks so it comes so natural. Really, really talented. He could kick easily. He'd stay out with me and Reece and Fred, and would catch high balls and kick them back, and it'd just be, I wouldn't have to move.
Yeah, wow.
It was awesome.
Fair play. Go on then.
Right, well, I do have a couple of scenario questions tonight, and as Alex, you are now sort of joining the team, it's unfair to just ask you. So JK and Dom, you're getting involved. Right. So here's the first scenario. I'm just going to say it as if it's to each of you, but we'll have a separate answer. So you're England England manager. You're Eddie Jones, if you like. And unfortunately, COVID's hit. Now, the World RFUs come up to you and ask for advice. Due to COVID, they need to lose 2 separate positions from the rugby pitch. Which 2 do you lose, and why? JK, you're looking very confused.
I'm not confused. I'm just trying to think of which ones are working.
Do you need help with what positions go where?
No, that would be you, Neil.
I mean, that is rich coming from you there, pal.
I told you, that's what I bring to the team. That's what I bring to the team.
I've had the unique position of going from hooker to flanker.
Really bad rugby knowledge.
Fullback.
I just love the terminology "World RFU."
I've just made that up. It's the new one.
That organisation even exists.
See, I'd probably lose one of the wings and one of the flankers because it's just
exactly what I was going to say.
Just that easy. You can technically, your 15 can cover both wings, or you can do the pendulum will work in that sense on the back in your back three.
I was going to say 8 and 15. I want to see some more kicks over the top.
Oh, like that, Dom. Yeah, bit of variety. Okay, and you've been asked to introduce a new law to promote attacking rugby. What do you introduce?
Attacking.
What would you introduce? What would be? Yeah.
Obviously, I've got one. You go off the back of a Johnny May try. If you score from your own 22, you get 2 bonus points.
Go an American style.
Oh yeah, you score
like that.
From 22 like he's done. You get 2 bonus points for that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
it means less kicking from your own 22. You're more inclined to run it if you see the gap and you just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, that's a good one. Fair play, JK.
He's actually thought
I think
I can be smart.
Probably have to have 3 or 4 fullbacks. Just then the front line would be less. So you probably see a bit more attack and rugby. Or the attacking side could have 1 person offside.
Oh. I like that.
We do that. Really?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a lot of training.
Yeah. All right, and one more.
Excellent. I'm going to stand on the try line.
Yeah.
Right, and one more England-based question then. So once again, you're England manager, and you like the look of someone on another nation's team. Now you're allowed to take this player. You've got to pick which player you take, but you have to replace them. Like another player going the other way has to be what you perceive the best player in that position for England. Who would you swap? Who do you really think could improve the England team? Like in terms of what player, if you were England manager, is there a player in another nation you think, like I wish he was English or?
Bloody hell.
I never think these out very well, by the way. These are just,
I would like Dupont from France.
Yeah,
I'd quite like Dupont from France.
Who would you lose from England, though?
I feel half saying something, I don't really know.
That's fair enough.
Actually, no, Willie Hines.
Really high.
He's great.
Are we going currently playing or?
Oh yeah, can we have former players?
If you
can bring them out,
why not?
So I'd snap up Israel Dag.
Yeah.
Israel Dag, yeah.
So that's the one thing that England need is 15 or a decent 15 and a set 15. I think Israel Dag would be an absolute legend. But then I'd have to give up one of the back 3. Fuck, that one's hard. Who would I give up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd stick with Dupont and send Willie Hines.
I'd have to kick out Watson.
You're super dumb.
Yeah.
Watson for Dag.
Watson for Dag?
Oh, no way.
Jesus Christ, okay. It's outrageous.
Yeah, but then I'll stick...
Right, I would bring back I'd bring Quade Cooper in. I'm a massive fan of Quade Cooper.
Nice.
And it's a travesty what happened to him at the Reds.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, probably forward would go.
Forward.
It's tough saying that being the next bar fan.
You've swapped someone so consistent to someone who can be.
Yeah, but he's got some flair.
This is
don't get me wrong.
If you're going to do that, you might as well bring Cipriani back in.
That is for me this week. I'll put some more work in. I'm not weird enough.
Yeah, I like that.
Must try harder.
Must try harder. I was always told that at school when I turned up. But no, well, it's been a pleasure having you on again, Alex. Thank you very much. We're going to have you on it, more regularly going forward.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And, six of us now? 7? 6?
I don't know. Too many. We'll start cutting some faces out.
Donovan don't count.
Yeah, that's the thing. By the end of it, it'd just be us on the sideline. You boys taking over, like Alex, you and you and the other lads.
Alex Davies, there'll be Peter Bracken.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we could get Peter Bracken in. Yeah. We should. Anyway, we'll wrap it up there before we offend anyone else. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you next week.